Find me, Jose Monkey.
You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm Jose Monkey, and I find people who ask to be found. This video looks as if it would be very difficult to figure out the location, but there is just enough information here to help you figure out exactly where this is. And I found it way more quickly than I thought I would. Check out the video.
Find me, Jose Monkey.
So what can we see? This person asks to be found, and we can see a brick wall behind them. They flip the camera around, and we can see what looks like a shop here that's selling all sorts of knickknacks and tchotchkes. We can just barely see the number 26 next to the door here. We can also see a flyer attached to the door, but it's very difficult to read. I'll come back to that. Next, they keep turning, and we can see a few Santa Claus decorations. And at this point, I think I should point out that this video is pretty old. It's from December. Well, that's not so bad. Of 2023. Dang. Okay. Anyway, there's very little to see down the alley here, but they keep turning the camera and show us the view in the other direction, where there's also nothing to see. And that's about it. Okay, so I knew the flyer on the door was going to be the best clue here. I figured if nothing else, I could try to figure out the language that was printed on the flyer, and that might tell me what country this was. I was having a bit of trouble reading it, but I was able to determine that it was very likely French. I also thought that this here said ouverture éphémère. That literally means temporary opening, but I think it refers to like a pop-up shop happening somewhere. Now, it seems reasonable to think that if you have a flyer advertising something like that, it probably has an address on it. But I was having trouble making out any of the details. I thought that we had the number 12 here, followed by rue de, meaning street of, so it's like a street name, but I couldn't really make out anything else. I was hoping that that might be enough. So guys, I just started doing some Googling using as many of the words as I could read. And after a few lucky guesses, I got an image that looked very much like the flyer in the video. Now, the address on this flyer didn't look like it was exactly the same as the one in the video, but I could see the name of a city, Gourdon. Gourdon is a commune in southwestern France. And once I saw this very clear flyer and compared it to the one from the video, I was pretty sure that it said Gourdon on the one in the video as well. Okay, so that was a pretty lucky break, but I was trying to remind myself that that's just the address of whatever the flyer is advertising, not necessarily the address of the place I was looking for, but I figured it was a good place to start. I knew I should be looking for a shop numbered 26, possibly in Gourdon. But even so, I didn't know what street it would be on. At first, I just tried bringing the town up on Google Maps and searching for the number 26 and seeing if Google would autocomplete and tell me an address that was correct. And it suggested several places, but none of the ones that I checked were right. So after fumbling around with that for a few minutes, I decided to take a different approach. I went back to Google and just tried searching for shops in Gourdon with the number 26. The image results that I got were not immediately helpful. But when I switched to my regular results, the second location that it listed looked very promising. The address was 26 Rue de Majou, which is the very same street that's named on the flyer. And guys, that was it. You were here in Gourdon, France. Okay, so the Google Maps entry for this shop clearly matches what we see in the video. I tried to bring up the Google Street View to confirm the details here, but unfortunately there was no Street View coverage on this particular street, which is not that surprising. I'm pretty sure that the Street View car would not fit down that street. I tried to see if I could find a Street View photo from nearby that would show me the spot where you were, but the best I could get was this picture, which shows us this archway, which is the one that we see in your video. So you were not too far from there, and I would estimate that we could put a pin on the map right about here. Okay, it's time to check which previous location was closest to this one. And it's not very close, because the closest place I found to this one is one of the places I found during the live lightning round I did last year. And that spot is in Barcelona. That is 368 kilometers or 229 miles away from this spot. Guys, go check out the map of all the places I've found for you so far from the videos you've sent me. And stay tuned because I've got a big announcement about merch coming. And if anybody else wants me to find them, record a video where you say, "Find me, Jose Monkey," or something like that on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.